Yeah, welcome back to class. So we'll be taking the impact of technology in organizations. Impact of technology in our organization. You all agree with me that technology has really reshaped, or technology has reshaped the way an organization is being structured. Okay, technology has reshaped the way an organization is being structured. Most importantly, or specifically where we have virtual offices, or network organization structure. Okay, where individuals or group of people working together, or firms, do not really have to, have a physical presence before they could achieve the objectives, before they can achieve a particular task. Okay, so technological advancement have entirely reshaped the organizations by making their business processes highly integrated. Okay, so this is more so in the case of small and medium companies. So when taking virtual and the network organization, we discuss this organizational structure. We discuss this whereby companies have remote, work remotely. Okay, so a person or a trader, okay, or a seller of a particular brand may not necessarily have a physical a store before he or she can make sales. Okay, so what he needs to do is probably to contact the manufacturer of a particular product, and then connect the manufacturer with the customer. Okay, and ask the manufacturer to dispatch the goods in question to the customer without having involved physically. Okay, so the same thing goes to the multinational companies too. Okay, for instance, look at Facebook, look at Twitter. So these are companies. Look at Microsoft. So these are companies that do not really have physical base or permanent establishment in all the countries they operate. Okay, in all the countries they operate. So meetings are being done online. People are doing away with paperwork nowadays. Okay, so it's not necessary for you to incur each traveling costs, booking hotel rooms and the likes, where you can virtually have your meeting via Zoom or Google Meet. Okay, so if you want to have a meeting with people in different countries at the same time, okay, with the help of technology, that can be achieved. Okay, so technology has changed the way businesses communicate. Okay, so before now it has to be emails, but now we have other means of communication, medium of communication, such as WhatsApp, we have Telegram, among others. Okay, so the level of smartphones, social networking sites, chat apps has brought communication to a new level. Communication among the employees or management or to subordinates, or management to management, has become fast, instantaneously, more deliberate, collaborative, and unified. So you see companies creating groups for each team, okay, so as to have a platform to discuss any development in their business. So also technology has influenced the way we do business in such a way that it helps in keeping the business fully organized. Okay, so it helps in keeping the business fully organized. It also makes business operations more productive. and it assists in cost management. It assists in cost management. So improving profitability is the ultimate goal of every company, and due to innovative technological software, companies are now becoming physically healthy, as these innovations are proving to be more cost effective. Okay, and also it helps in keeping the business secure, giving it customized options, increasing collaboration, reducing the risk of security breaches, and improve employees efficiency. Okay, because for instance, having a WhatsApp platform makes you have effective communication between among team members. So it also enables remote working. Look at what happened during COVID-19. Okay, so imagine the situation for companies that have not adopt technology, or companies that does not have what it requires. Okay, so cloud technologies and improved IM systems have helped the employees to work from anywhere with a click of a mouse. Video conferencing has made it possible to coordinate with the best employees no matter where they are all together. So that's that on the impact of technology in organizations. Okay, so now still on that impact of technology in organizations, but we'll be looking at some models. Okay, we'll be looking at some aspects of business, the impact of technology on business organization. So now let's look at business model. Business model. Okay, so a business model is the plan your business has for making money. Okay, to a layman, a business model is the plan you have for making money. Okay, so it is an explanation of how you deliver value to your customers at an appropriate cost. So this includes the descriptions of the products or services you plan to sell, who you target, who your target market is, and then what it requires to achieve your objective. Okay, so business model for businesses serves as the basis for developing financial forecasts, serve as the basis for developing financial forecasts, setting milestones, and then setting a baseline for reviewing the business plan, Okay, so what are the components of a business plan? Okay, so basically the component of business plan will include everything it takes to achieve something, probably to make something, to design, to get raw materials, in a manufacturing set, okay, labor and the likes. Okay, so everything it takes to achieve something, and then everything it takes to sell your idea, okay, to sell that thing. So, and then also how and what the people, how do you intend to bind your customer? Okay, so what the people pays, so the price, pricing strategy, payment methods, and then payment plan. So to know if a business model is successful, so you need to ensure that you do the right thing at the right time. Okay, so what do you need to do to buy in people's what do you need to do to to let people buy into your idea. Okay, so you relate to people, you relate to people that we assist that will make your business model work for you. Okay, that will make your business model work for you. So business model is a conceptual structure that supports the viability of the business and explains who the business serves, what it offers, and how it does it. Okay, so and how it does that. So that's on business model. Again, business model is a conceptual structure. Business model is a conceptual structure that supports the viability. Is a conceptual structure that supports the viability of the business, and explains who the business serves, what it offers, how it offers it, and how it achieves its goals. So all the business processes and policies that a company adopts and follows are part of its business model. So according to the management guru Peter Drucker, a business model is supposed to answer who your customer is, what value you can create or add for the customer, and how you can do that at reasonable cost. So remember your pricing strategy. So thus a business model is a description of how a company creates, delivers, and captures value for the customer as well as itself. Are we together? Again, according to Peter Drucker, a business model is supposed to answer who your customer is, what value you can create and or add for the customer, and how you can do that at reasonable cost. So the business model is a description of how a company creates, delivers, and captures value for the customer as well as itself. Again, a business model is a description of how a company creates, delivers, and captures value for the customer, as well as itself. Are we together? So the components of a business model, you see, an ideal business model usually conveys 4 key aspects of the business, which is presented using a specialized tool called business model canvas. Business model canvas. Okay, so these key components are customers, value proposition, operating model, and revenue. These business model canvas are what? Are customers, value proposition, operating model. What's the operating model? and then 4 we have the revenue model. Okay, so for customers you can choose, probably your target market is children, okay, or if is the total population. So your value proposition, like in the case of Nestle, you have good food and then good life, good food, good life. Okay, so and then you can, on value proposition you can search for companies value proposition. You have a lot. Okay, so your operating model too, it tells us about the business model you have put in place, as well as your, so basically business model has 4 components: your customers, what value does the business deliver to the customers, that is value proposition, and then how does the business operate, how does the business make money. Okay, so you have to identify your key partners. What are your key activities? So what is that thing you are doing that that will make you have your customer buying? Okay, so what thing are you doing, or what's that product? Okay, what's the product you are selling to the customer that will make your customers always look for you? So what are the key activities, your value proposition, your customer relationships, your customer segments? It could be children, adults, and the likes. Okay, so you have to get key people. You have to have that resources that will suit your value proposition. Okay, so then how do you intend to sell these goods? Okay, so do you intend do you want to use the middle man? Okay, so do you want to have a distribution chain? Okay, so, or do you intend to sell directly to your customer? You understand? So who is the customer? The customer forms the heart of a business model. Okay, so, and your value proposition, I've just mentioned one. In the case of Nestle, we have good food, good life. So what are the jobs the customer wants to be done? So what are their pains in doing the job? So what value do you are you creating for them? Okay, so once these questions are answered, the business answers another set of questions that relates business to the customer. So how does business get the job done? So how do you get this value? How do you have good food on your customers table? Okay, so how do you ensure your customers are healthy? Okay, so you need to how does the business relieve the customer's pain? Okay, so how can the business help the customer get the gains of the product? So how do they derive value from that product? Do you understand? So that's that on business model. Okay, so let's look at organizational structure. Okay, so an organizational structure is a system that outlines how certain activities are directed in order to achieve the goals of an organization. So these activities can include roles and responsibilities. It can include organizational roles of every member of an organization, and their responsibilities. Okay, and their responsibilities. So the organizational structure also determines how information flows between levels within the company. Okay, how information flows at each level or between levels within the company. So remember, your organizational structures could includes the hierarchical organizational structure, hierarchical organizational structure. Hierarchical organizational structure. We have the functional organizational structure. We have the horizontal or flat organizational structure. We have the divisional organizational structure. We have the matrix organizational structure. We have the team-based organizational structure, and then we have the network organizational structure. Okay, so while we have discussed some of these organizational structure, it is important to at least discuss one or two from this. So let's take functional organization. Okay, so a functional structure is usually the next stage in the development of a business organization as it grows in size. Okay, so the organization is subdivided into specialist departments, with each department specializing in a particular type of activity. Okay, so that is function. Okay, so the nature of the functional department varies according to the type and size of the business. And the functional department for instance, in a manufacturing business might include the procurement or purchasing department, operations department, sales and marketing, accounting or finance department, research and development, so on. So within each function, the organization might be structured as different sub-functions. For example, the manufacturing departments might have sub departments for machining, finishing and assembly. So the accounting department might have separate sections for bookkeeping, cost accounting, payroll, okay, and internal audit. So each function has its own management structure and its own employees. Are we together? So a functional organizational structure can be shown using an organizational chart. Okay, in a simplified manner, we have the top echelon members of management, which is the board of directors. So the managing director reports to the board of director. The managing director reports to the board of director, and then the managing director is the management head, who get reports from different departments such as the accounts departments, accounting and financing departments, marketing and sales departments. We have the research and development department, R&D, and then we have the human relations management, HR management. So also the managing director gets reports from the production department, okay, which is the operation department. So where we could have sub departments too, okay, but the production head or production manager reports directly to the managing director when he has supervisors in each sub department. Okay, so for instance, the machining department, assembly department, and then finishing departments. Okay, so this is just a typical structure of a functional organization. Are we together? Okay, so thank you guys for coming to class. Do have a successful night. So don't forget, we still have some subtopics under this topic to complete. So we meet again in the next class, and where we probably finalize our discussion on this topic. Are we together? Okay, goodbye.